I'm Cape Joel, and this is Comic Smack, your weekly, daily, all the time, anytime comic show where I give you your fix of everything you need to know from the world of comic books and superheroes. And on today's show, we are taking a closer look at Inhumans Vs X-Men issue number 3. The mutants are at the gate of the royal family. What will they do to fight back? Let's hop on in together and find out, shall we? Okay then, so this new issue wastes no time getting started. As we join the comic, the X-Men are assailing the front gates of the Inhuman city. The Human Torch wants to kind of get out there and play mediator. After all, he's not an X-Men and he's not an Inhuman, but Medusa doesn't want him to get involved, especially as she says this isn't your fight right now. You can leave and have it all be fine and not have to, get weird looks from the rest of the superhero community. Medusa still very much believes that she can push for peace between her people and the mutants, only as Johnny is quick to point out, if the X-Men wanted peace, they wouldn't have come here with the likes of Magneto and Sabretooth, known criminals and killers. As Queen Medusa knows, there's no getting out of having to deal with the enemy at her gate, but she comes prepared with some totally awesome new Kree battle armor, complete with what looks like a series of razor blades inside her hair. Wow, this looks like an awesome alternate skin for a fighting game or a brand new action figure you can get very soon. Now outside, the mutants deal with the Inhuman resistance. They had dealt with all the heavy hitters in the last issue, so right now it's basically palace security and, well, civilians. In fact, there's a rather poignant moment where Storm begins to think to herself, geez, attacking a fringe community, rounding up people, terrorizing people in the streets. Geez, guys, I think we're the villains in this issue or something. Geez, I sure hope Charles Xavier's ghost brain can't see us wherever he is right now. Now, it's young time-traveling Beast who actually manages to be the first mutant inside the Inhuman perimeter. He didn't come to fight, though. He wants to look at his older self's research and see if there's anything there they can use in helping them destroy the Cloud. Wait, you mean you guys don't have a plan to destroy the Cloud yet? That seems a little important. Maybe you should have figured that one out first before you declared full-on war. Medusa stops young Beast no problem, but in a really awesome moment, Nightcrawler actually swoops on in and bamps her away from the fight. Hey, come to think of it, couldn't Nightcrawler have just done that to the Inhumans? Like, oh, I don't know, bamf them into space or bamf them into containment so no one needed to fight? Just a thought. Now, while all this is going on, Inferno and ISO were given a special mission by the Queen. Leave the city and recruit any Inhumans out in the world they can. Miss Marvel, the people from Unilux, anyone who's willing to fight for their people and their religious Cloud. I'm sure all of this will be covered in tie-in somewhere, but honestly, I'm not looking forward to having to review those, so don't be surprised if I don't do them. The two kids get stopped up by Sabretooth, who threatens them with pain of death, but at that point the Human Torch comes in, making his choice to back Medusa and the Inhumans despite what it might do to his greater reputation, which is still nowhere worse than what Fox has done to his reputation. In fact, the reputation for the X-Men. Really, this whole event, if you want to break it down, the main villain is really Fox. Now, what's the two young Inhumans' plans for escaping the mutant front? Well, they dig up old Eardac, that living door thing that can transport you all over the place. If I'm not mistaken, and I very well might be, I think the door was actually on the outs with Medusa and the rest of the Inhumans because it had betrayed them, but they play up the importance of how they're all in this together, and if they want to get out of this situation, they're going to have to join forces, if only for the minute. Personally, I like to think maybe the door was trolling them, because after they get transported, they end up coming face to face with Old Man Logan. Ah, crap. Well, you know what, it might have taken me a couple issues, but I dare say I'm actually beginning to warm up to Inhumans vs X-Men just a little bit. I gotta give credit where credit is due to Soul. He's having these two groups fight each other, and yet at the same time, no one really seems to want to hurt each other just yet, and everyone's kind of pulling their punches. Lord knows it's much better than the last time superheroes all fought each other during Civil War II, where everyone jumped to murder incredibly quickly with no good reason. I'm also really enjoying this trend that's starting to form right now in the issues, where in the previous one, the Inhumans were all painted as the bad guy because the mutants were on the attack, and now in this issue, it's the Inhumans who are on the counter-defensive, and it's the mutants who are being painted as the bad guy. Perspective is a very important thing, and I'm glad it's not lost in the big shuffle going on here with all these different superpowered characters. Speaking of different superpowered characters, when you got this many people together with this many radical abilities, I'm sure I'll find plenty more to nitpick, like the Nightcrawler thing, but it doesn't ruin the book. It's just one of those things where it's like, man, I wish they thought about this just a little bit more. Overall, though, I did think it was pretty decent, which is why I give it a 7.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching my newest video. I hope you enjoyed it, and while you're here, why not check out another video I have on offer, or maybe if you're feeling in a supportive mood, you want to like or subscribe. And if you want to support the creation of more videos just like this one, then please, by all means, means, check out the Cape Joel Patreon. A little bit goes a very long way, and I will see you all next time.